How to lower your interest rate if you're looking for a house right now. Interest rates are about 7%. Did you know that you have options where you can take that down to 6%, 5%, 6.5%? You have options. You don't need to take the flat out 7, a little over 7% that we're seeing in the market today. So let's talk about what options you have, and let's talk about how to get there. So right now, interest rates, they're above 7%. I can't tell you exactly. If you're going to ask me, hey, where are rates going in 3 months, 6 months? I could tell you a story. I could make up a number. Look, nobody really has an answer for that. Nobody really knows. Nobody has a crystal ball. I can tell you the data, tell you facts. Again, with the market, with how things work out, we never really know. Anyway, so let's say you're looking right now and you're trying to say, hey, I want to find a place, but I need a lower interest rate. How are we going to make that work? So there's two programs. There's two programs that people use a lot. The first one is a 2-1 buy down. Basically, what that means is interest rates are about 7%, right? So if you do a 2-1 buy down, it means that the very first year one of your mortgage, your interest rate is going to be 5%. And then the second year of your mortgage, it's going to be 6%. Now, after that, your third year, your interest rate is going to be back to normal at 7%. So again, first year is going to be 5, second year is going to be 6%, and then your third year goes back to the regular, market rate, whatever it is, 7%. If you're wondering, why would anyone do this? What's the point of this program? Why would anyone only temporarily buy down their interest rate? Look, people are mainly doing this because they're expecting interest rates to go down, right? So if you do this program, you're expecting in year three, maybe interest rates are at 5%, maybe they're at 6%, maybe they're at 4%. So you're expecting interest rates to go down so that you can refinance by year three, so that 7%, the rates right now, you actually never have to touch that. You never have to deal with that. So that's what they're expecting. I'll be honest, there is some speculation using that program. Again, if you're wrong and interest rates don't go down, then you're just at 7%. Okay, you're at the current market rates. You're not going above that. You're not exposing yourself to something of uncertainty that you don't know what the interest rates are going to be. You know what the rate is going to be, but the first 2 years you get a reduced rate in the hopes that it's going to go down in the future so that you can refinance and you actually never have to have a 7% interest rate. So that's what some people do. That's option one. And if you don't like that, if you don't like speculating or have to worry, I just want a reduced rate and I want it to be reduced the entire time. I don't want to have to think about this in a couple of years. I don't want to have to follow the market. I don't have to, worry. Option two is instead of paying the money you would for a 2-1 buy down, you can just do a permanent buy down. So you can have money from the sellers, you can have money from the lender, and what you can do is spend that money instead of it going straight to your bank account, instead of taking it right from closing, you can put it towards your interest rate and you can reduce it. You can reduce it instead of 7%, maybe it's 6.5, maybe it's 6%. It's typically not going to be as powerful as a 2-1 buy down because lowering your interest rate by 2% is huge, but of course that's only for 1 year. This option is for the 30 years. You can reduce your interest rate if you pay it, or if you spend that money to do that, you can have it go down by maybe 0.5% to 1%. Now, how do you do these options? You're thinking about looking, how do I actually get that reduction? So when it comes to real estate, there's not an easy button. There's not a button you can press and say, hey, this is the option I want, and give me that option, and I'm good to go. You have a lender, you have a realtor, and they are a team. And it is super important to have a good team to make this work because they're going to be working for you to get you the best financial position. So let's say you want to do either one of these options, right? Typically to do this or to do any of these options, you're going to need money. You're going to need somebody to pay the lender a few thousand, whatever it is for how much you're paying for a house. You're going to need somebody to pay the lender to buy down the interest rate. So where's that money going to come from, right? If you don't have it, where is it going to come from? This is where you talk to your lender, right? When you're going to think about buying a house and you need a reduced interest rate, talk to your lender and say, hey, what home buying programs do you have? There are some lenders who are going to give you some credits, who are going to give you some money right off the bat. They're going to give you a couple of thousand. They're going to give you $4,000. They're going to give you. There's so many different lenders with so many different programs they're willing to give you some money and some credits. And so instead of just taking and pocketing that money, you can use that money towards reducing your interest rate. So that's step one. Talk to your lender and tell them, hey, what kind of programs do you have that I can use to help me with my financial position? Okay. Now, once you do that, maybe they don't have programs, maybe they do, maybe it's not enough. Once you do that, then your lender is going to talk to your realtor and say, okay, look, this person is needing to get, they need a 6% interest rate in order to afford a mortgage right now that works for them. Here's how much money we need in order to make that work. Maybe it's $4,000. Hey, I need you as the realtor to get us $4,000 from the seller so that we can pay to reduce the mortgage rate so that it works for this buyer. In that case, it's up to the realtors and it's up to us to structure the offer. Whenever we're looking at houses, whenever we're seeing houses and making offers, it's up to us to structure the right offer so that we get you that money at the end of the day so that you can reduce your interest rate. So it's not an easy button. It's not something that it's quick and easy. You need to work with your team, your lender, and your realtor to make sure that this is packaged for you and so that you get this reduced rate. But here are some options if you're kind of just sick and tired of this, the interest rates where they are. Maybe it's not affordable for you right now. Maybe 7% is just not working for you and you need something less. These are a couple options that you can do. Okay, I try to remind people there's always a way. There's always an option. No matter it's not just in real estate, but whatever you do in life, there's always a way to make it work. Let's try not to box ourselves. Let's try to figure out how we can make this work for you, not just in real estate, but in life in general. How can you make life work and not be closed off to, the standards that we see that people, put on us. So just like with real estate, if you want to find a place and you need to make it work financially, let's talk to somebody and see what options that you have so that we can make it work for you. So if you're thinking about if you're trying to get a reduced interest rate, again, just to summarize quickly, there's a couple ways. There's a 2-1 buy down, and then there's just a permanent buy down on your interest rate, which again, you're going to need to use a lot of team effort to get those options and to make sure that we can structure an offer so that the sellers will hopefully get you some money back. So that's your Chris's Corner Monday tip. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the week. It's a little rainy today. The Bears lost brutally to the Packers. Let's not talk about it. Let's not talk about it. Have an awesome week. Have an awesome Monday. Hopefully you enjoy the day.